You ever know someone who, when they leave a situation, a friendship, a job, a relationship, they don't put up a fight? There's no big dramatic exit, no slamming doors. They just fade out. Well, today we're going to get into the psychology of this silent withdrawal because it tells us a whole lot about the limits of our emotional energy.
It's a really confusing thing to be on the receiving end of, right? So, the big question we're tackling here is what is actually going on in someone's head when they decide to leave without saying a word?
Yeah, there's no big blow up, no shouting match where everything finally gets aired out. The stage is just quiet.
And there's no long email, no, we need to talk text. There's just this heavy silence where all of your questions are left just hanging in the air. One day they're a part of your life, and the next, it's like they've just vanished into thin air. This kind of quiet exit gets misunderstood all the time. So let's really break down what's happening beneath the surface.
All right, so the first thing most of us assume is that this silence is a weapon, right? That it comes from a place of just pure anger or that the person is being incredibly cold-hearted. But you know what? The psychology tells a completely different story.
It's so easy to think that this silence is an act of aggression, that they're trying to punish you, but the reality is often the total opposite. It's about acceptance. It's that quiet, internal moment where they finally realize, I've said everything I can say. Any more words are just a waste of breath. They've accepted that the situation, or maybe the other person, is just never going to change. This quote from Schopenhauer just hits it perfectly. That silence isn't empty space. No, it's full. It's full of all the words that were said but never really heard, all the chances that were given but never taken. It's like the final exhausted sigh before they decide to protect their own peace.
So if it's not about anger, what is it really about? Well, the true emotional state behind this quiet departure is usually a mix of two powerful things: deep, profound exhaustion, and that final quiet acceptance we just talked about.
And this is so crucial to understand. These people aren't cold-hearted or unfeeling. In fact, it's probably the opposite. They've likely felt too much for too long. They've just reached a point where their emotional well has completely run dry. There's actually a clinical term for this: emotional burnout. It's a state of just total depletion. Think about it like a phone battery that's been run down to 0%. You can plug it in, but it needs time before it can function again. The desire to fight or connect might still be flickering in there somewhere, but the actual energy to do it, it's just gone. So how does someone even get to that point? Well, it's a slow burn, isn't it? It's that exhaustion of feeling like a broken record, saying the same thing over and over and feeling like you're talking to a wall. It's being tired of forgiving the same mistake for the 10th time. It's that unique weariness that comes from hoping for a change that never, ever comes. And man, is it tiring to constantly have to explain and justify why you feel the way you feel. This brings us to their real motive. If the goal isn't to get revenge, if it's not to punish, then what is the whole point of walking away in silence? The answer is actually pretty simple, and it's all about self-preservation. Okay, this is a huge distinction we have to make. Silent withdrawal is not the same as the manipulative silent treatment. Not at all. The silent treatment is a temporary power move. It's designed to punish and control someone. It wants a reaction. Silent withdrawal, it's the exact opposite. It's a final act of letting go. The goal isn't to get a reaction. The goal is to escape the need for one entirely. It's a permanent solution, not a temporary tactic. And that's really the bottom line here. The person who is leaving isn't even focused on the other person anymore. Their focus has turned completely inward. It's not about winning the argument. It's about getting off the battlefield so they can protect their own sanity. So when you piece all of this together, a totally new picture starts to form. What might look like weakness or avoidance from the outside is, in reality, an act of incredible, if quiet, strength. This is the internal logic, the quiet decision-making process. First, it's the wisdom to realize, hey, not every battle is worth my energy. Second, it's the self-respect to understand that your own inner peace is way more valuable than winning an argument or proving you're right. And finally, it's having the courage to actually walk away, to save that energy for your own healing. I love how the author Mark Manson puts it, just so bluntly and perfectly. We live in a world that's all about never give up, but sometimes the most mature, wisest thing you can do is recognize when it's time to just stop trying to fix something that can't be fixed. And that really is the ultimate takeaway. This isn't about surrender. It's a powerful act of choosing yourself. It's the moment a person finally looks at a draining, endless conflict and says, you know what? I choose me. I choose my well-being over this.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. In a world that is so loud, that's always demanding that we argue and have the last word, when is choosing silence, not as a weapon to hurt someone, but as a shield to protect yourself, the absolute most powerful choice you can make?